Good morning everyone, especially to you Ma'am Neng. I am Lloyd Basadre and for today's video, I'll be going to discuss about the chapter 11 of Rizal Life and Work, and that was entitled In Hong Kong and Macau 1888. Dr. Jose Rizal, a practicing physician and recognized man of letters, a romantic idealist with beautiful dreams of emancipating his people from bondage by the power of his pen. The first time when he went abroad was in June 1882, and he was the age of 21 years old. Rizal was full-grown man 27 years of age when he was forced to leave his country for a second time in February 1888. He was an embittered victim of human iniquities, a disillusioned dreamer, a frustrated reformer at the age of 27 years old. So, si Dr. Jose Rizal isa siyang practicing physician and at the same time, manunulat din siya or he recognized man of letters. So, yung first time na nagpunta si Rizal abroad, that was in June 1882 at the age of 21 years old. So, Rizal was full-grown man at the age of 27. Now, let's proceed to trip to Hong Kong of Jose Rizal. So on February 3, 1888, after a short stay of 6 months in his beloved Calamba, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong on board the Zafiro. He was sick and sad during the crossing of the choppy China Sea, and he did not get off his ship when it made a brief stopover at Amoy on February 7, 1888. So noong February 3, 1888, 6 months na natili si Rizal sa kanyang town which is Calamba, and then he decided to leave Manila for Hong Kong, and then sumakay siya sa barkong Zafiro. So during that time, Rizal was sick and sad habang naglalakbay siya patungong Hong Kong. And he did not get off his ship when it made a brief stopover. And the reason why it is because he was not feeling well. Second, it was raining hard. And third, he heard that the city was dirty. He arrived in Hong Kong on February 8, 1888. During his stay in Hong Kong, Rizal wrote a letter to Blumentritt on February 16, 1888, expressing his bitterness. Rizal also wrote to Blumentritt on February 16, 1888 about Hong Kong is a small but very clean city. Many Portuguese, Hindus, English, Chinese, and Jews live in it. There are some Filipinos, the majority of whom were those who had been exiled to the Mariana Islands in 1872. They are poor, gentle, and timid. Formerly, they were rich mechanics, industrialists, and financiers. So, nung dumating na si Rizal sa Hong Kong noong February 8, 1888, and then while he is staying in there, nagsulat si Rizal about sa Blumentritt, and then doon sa sulat, in-express niya yung bitterness niya kasi si Rizal nasasaktan siya pag once yung mga Pilipino is nade-discriminate. And then, yung pagdating niya dun sa Hong Kong, then yung pagdating niya dun sa Hong Kong, maraming Filipinos and then the majority of whom were those who had been exiled to the Mariana Islands noong 1872. May mga mahirap, gentle and timid. Formerly, they were rich mechanics, industrialists, and financiers. So habang nag-stay si Rizal sa Hong Kong noong February 16, 1888, is dinescribe niya yung Hong Kong, and that was Hong Kong is a small but very clean city. Jose Zain de Veranda, a Spanish who was a former secretary of Governor General Terrero, shadowed Rizal movement in Hong Kong. It is believed that he was commissioned by the Spanish authorities to spy on Rizal. So habang si Rizal nandun sa Hong Kong, itong si Jose Sain de Veranda, isa siyang Spanish who was former secretary ni Governor General Terrero. So sinusundan niya or minamanmanan niya si Rizal. Naging espiya din siya sa mga lahat ng galawan ni Rizal na habang si Rizal ay nandun sa Hong Kong. So let's proceed
Okay,
to
so
Rizal
February
visit
18,
Macau.
so Rizal accompanied by
February
Basa
18,
boarded the ferry
1880,
steamer
Rizal accompanied
Kiu
by
Kiang
Basa
for
boarded the
Macau.
ferry steamer
He was
Kiu
surprised to
Kiang
see a familiar
for
figure
Macau.
among the
He was
passengers.
surprised to see
So
among the
noong February
passengers
18
a
naman,
familiar
so Rizal
figure sa
is bumiyahe
Veranda.
siya patungong Macau and then he boarded the ferry steamer na kung saan tawagin ay Kiu Kiang. So and then after niyang sumakay doon sa Kiu Kiang na barko papuntang Macau, and then he was surprised. So na-surprise si Rizal na makita niya yung mga familiar figure among the passengers. So Rizal described Macau as a small, low, and gloomy. There are many junks, sampans, but few steamers. It looks sad and is almost dead-like. The two stayed at the house of Don Juan Francisco Lecarus, who was married to a Portuguese lady. So, nang umabot na si Rizal or nang dumating na si Rizal sa Macau, so he described Macau ay isa siyang maliit na city and then at the same time low and gloomy. Pero yung city na yon is very malinis na city. So and then after Rizal was arrived at Macau, then nag-stage siya sa bahay ni Don Juan Francisco Licaros, which is si Don Juan Francisco Licaros ay pangasawa ng isang babaeng Portuguese. So during his 2 days stayed in Macau, he visited the theater, casino, cathedral, and churches. So while Rizal is stayed in Macau in that 2 days, he visited the theater, casino, cathedral, and churches. And at the same time, he also visited the pagodas and botanical gardens and bazaars.
Macau is a Portuguese colony near Hong Kong. The city of Macau, wrote Rizal in his diary, is small, low, and gloomy. There are many junks and sampans, but few steamers. It looks sad and he is almost dead. Rizal in Basa stayed at the home of Don Juan Francisco Lecarus, a Filipino gentleman married to a Portuguese lady. He was rich and spent his days cultivating plants and flowers, many of which came from the Philippines. During his 2 days sojourn in Macau, Rizal visited the theater, casino, cathedral and churches, pagodas, botanical garden, and bazaar. He also saw the famous Grotto of Camoens, Portugal's national poet. So on February 20, Rizal and Basa returned to Hong Kong again on board the ferry steamer Kiu Kiang. During his 2-week visit to Hong Kong, Rizal studied Chinese life, language, drama, and customs. He wrote it down in his diary. So first, noisy celebration of Chinese New Year which lasted from February 11th, Saturday, to 13th, Monday. The richer the Chinese, the more firecrackers he exploded. Second, by noisier music. Rizal observed the following. So number one, a man astride a stick means a man riding on horseback. Second, an actor raising his leg means he is entering a house. Third, a red dress indicates a wedding. Fourth, a girl about to be married coolly covers her race with the fan even in the presence of the fiancé. And last, a man raising a whip signifies he is about to ride a horse. And lastly, the departure from Hong Kong. So on February 22, 1888, Rizal left Hong Kong on board the Oceanic and an American steamer. His destination was Japan. He did not like the meals on board, but he liked the ship because it was clean and efficiently managed.